Hey everybody, Christina here from Creations with Christina. Welcome back to video number 2 of my craft room tour. Studio, loft, whatever you want to call it. Today I'm going to go over the workspace. I'm going to show you my whole work area where I have my computer. I'm not going to go over in detail about the storage stuff underneath, but I'm definitely going to show you everything on top. I'm going to talk to you about my little makeup vanity area, and then I'm also going to go over my whole craft table. So we'll get into really good detail about that. And then in the third video, you'll hear all about how I store and organize my crafting supplies. So if you missed the first video, which is an entire overview of my new craft room, you can go ahead and click the link above in the card or down below in the YouTube description, and that'll take you over to that video. So let's go ahead and get started on my craft room workspace. All right, let's talk about workspace. I thought I would start with the biggest section, which is the section that spans the whole length of my room. It's about 11 feet long. It is my desk area along with my makeup area, so I thought I would just kind of go through this whole section. I'm not going to go through the bins. We'll do that in the next video, but I am just going to really mainly focus about what's on top of my desk and how I actually have this workspace put together. For the legs of my workspace, I use a couple of the Target cubes. This one on the end here, that is a 4 cube unit with the feet that give it about 1.5 inches in height. And I did measure this because somebody had asked, so it's about 32.5 inches tall, which is the perfect height for countertop height stools. And I have the 4 cube here. I have my chair. That's the chair coordinates with my desk, and I'll explain that later. I have a 2 cube that I made into the 3 cube, another chair, and then another 2 cube on the very end. And that's what I use for my legs. All of them have the little feet attached to them and give it that perfect height. For my actual desktop, what I use is a piece of wood. Now, originally I had the 8-foot piece. That was what I was using down in my other craft room, and we left it as raw wood until we knew what we were doing. I wasn't sure at that point if I wanted to paint it or stain it. So we ended up staining it, and then when we moved up to this room, what I did was we purchased another piece of the wood, which is another 3 feet, which gave us the whole length of the whole room. The wood is, I think, either pine or oak. I'm not 100% sure. But we did get it at Lowe's. It's about 12 feet or 12 inches deep, and then, like I said, 11 feet long. What we did was we stained it with a dark mahogany wood, which is very close to the color of my crafting table. And then we added glass to the top. The glass is just some cheap old glass that we got at Lowe's for $6 a piece, and we have about 6 of them going across the top. Eventually I'm going to invest in a thicker glass and a better quality glass. This was just something that I wanted to do quickly so that I can start getting my room all set up. And like I said, it's very inexpensive. It works great if you have something heavy on it and we don't have any spacers or any grips in between the glass and the wood. And the only place I have a problem is right at my makeup area. It slides back, which is no big deal. I just kind of slide it forward every time I clean. So that pretty much is the desktop. Like I said, it's 11 feet. It's an 8-foot and a 3-foot section of wood, and then glass going across the whole top, except for the very corner along the side where I have my expedite, which is I think the Calic is what they call it. So right past my printer, I've got a little bit section of glass, and then beyond that it's just the bare wood because it's not enough to buy another 16, I think it's 12 by 16 inch piece of glass. So that's pretty much what I did for my desktop. It's, you know, I think probably the whole thing maybe cost $50 or $60. It's the wood and the glass and the stain. And I just really love how that turned out. So now I'm going to go ahead and get a little closer, and we're going to talk about my actual workspace and what I keep on the top of my workspace, and then we're going to talk about where I actually do my crafting. So in the corner where I don't have an actual piece of glass because it's an odd size and it's kind of tucked back behind my expedite is just a little sorter that I got at TJ Maxx, and this is from a long time ago. And in there I just keep some extra note cards, some cards I've made, and some office supplies like a clipboard and some file sorters. And then next to that, I have that white like clipboard kind of frame. You can use it for, you know, putting a photo on, but what I use it for is just I clip my receipts on there. That's when I get home, that's where I put them so that I can, you know, record all of my expenses. Next to that is a little blue thing. I don't know if you can see it. It's right. Let me see if I can get my finger in there. Right there. That right there is a pencil sharpener. So I use that. That's the sharpener I use for doing my Prisma pencils. Next to that is my Canon Pixma Pro 9000 Mark 2 printer. I've had this for a couple years. Love this printer. The only downside is it does take 8 different ink cartridges, which can be kind of expensive. But what I do is, as I put a new one in, I immediately order a backup. So it's not so daunting. I think like one cartridge is like $12. Some of them are $13, some of them are $14. It depends on the color and if it's a photo quality, a photo printer, a photo quality ink. I forget what it's called. There's 2 of them in there. That's a photo quality. So I use this for mainly doing my photo printing. Absolutely love this machine. Don't use it for everyday use. It's mainly just the photo printer, and then if I'm doing print and cut with my Silhouette, I print on here too, because my other printer is a laser printer and just black and white. Next to that is my computer, and this is my workspace where I film all of my videos. So hold on one second. I'm just going to go ahead and back up my camera here. Okay, so this is where I film or edit all of my videos, and I also use this computer for doing editing of photos and stuff like that. Underneath the monitor, I have a Beats speaker for listening to music. I have my keyboard and mouse, and then underneath the keyboard and mouse is my black mat that you guys are probably used to seeing in my videos when I do my crafting. Then I have my hard drive, which sits right there. That's what I use for backing up my photos. I back up my photos once or twice, maybe once every 2 months. And then every 6 months I back up that to CDs. I always burn my photos on CDs. I lost photos once. I won't let it happen again. So the next area after my desk area is my makeup area. And this is my little vanity. I love, love, love this area. Like I said before in my first video, I didn't have a place like this before. And I live with 2 guys, and they don't really like it so much if I leave makeup around in the bathroom. So this is my nice little girly area. And let me just go ahead and move the camera a little closer so you can see everything that I have in this area. Okay, so this is my girl zone. I absolutely love this little area. I have all of my makeup, 90% of my makeup is up here. I don't have a ton of makeup, and I really kind of just like what I like, and that's about it. So I don't have anything fancy. I do try to buy a better quality makeup, and I do try to experiment a little bit, but usually 90% of the time I'm in too much of a hurry. So let me just quickly, I'm going to start on the wall, even though this really isn't my desktop, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because it's part of my makeup area. I have 3 ribba shelving from IKEA, and on the very top shelf is where I keep nail polishes that I've recently used. The rest of them seem to be all still downstairs. I haven't moved them yet. The second shelf is where I keep all of my makeup palettes that I'm currently using. And then on the third shelf is all of my brush cleaning supplies and some of my other makeup. So like I said, I don't do anything fancy makeup wise. I'm very simple and do try to kind of mess around a little bit with makeup, but I'm really not a expert on doing makeup. So right underneath those shelves, the very first section on my desk is going to be a little acrylic tray that I got at, this one I think came from Marshall's, and I got this for sorting. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to move the camera there. I got it for sorting my things like my extra shadows that come in little pots, and my concealers and eyeliners and stuff like that. And then plus I also have my tissues and the wipes I use to take my makeup off. Then right next to that, which is right next to that little section of lighting, which I will go over the lighting in a second, is another little acrylic holder that I got from Marshall's. And that one is heart-shaped. It's super cute. And in there is where I keep all of my favorite brushes. Those are the brushes I'm currently loving and in love with. And then I have some foundation sitting there from when I got ready this morning. And then right there in that little unit is where I keep some odds and ends things like lip gloss, mascara, one of my favorite foundations that I only use for special occasions because it's so expensive. And then, let's see, as we pan across, I have my just random moisturizer, hand cream, and then my final thing is my mirror that I use for any kind of close-up work I may have to do. And then right next to that is my little candle holder that, it's actually a candle warmer that plugs in, but I use it as my coffee warmer. Absolutely love that thing. It was so inexpensive, and it's perfect for keeping my coffee warm because I get distracted very easily. So let's now talk about my lighting, which is right above my desk. I had this on in the last video. Right now we have beautiful sunlight, so I don't have to have them on. But at nighttime, I turn these on when I'm crafting because it gives just the perfect amount of lighting. But let me tell you about this. These, we actually got this idea from a YouTube, somebody I found on YouTube. The lights on both sides of the mirror are vanity lights, and they are just really inexpensive lights that cost maybe $10 a piece, not including the light bulbs. They were more expensive. But what you do is they took the lighting, which is usually hardwired into your electrical, and added an extension cord. They wired it for an extension cord, and then they plugged it into an adapter that has a remote control. So I love this. I don't have to get underneath my desk and plug those lights in every single time that I'm doing my makeup. I have a little remote control that I use for turning my lights on and off, and I absolutely love it. And it was such a wonderful idea, and if I find that video, I will definitely link it below because I just think this is a great idea. So let me get a little closer. I want to show you a close-up of my mirror that I have on my wall and how I have that set, because if you didn't notice, it's kind of comes out a little bit from the bottom. Alright, so my mirror is pretty much just a very inexpensive mirror that I got at Target. I think it was under $15, and it's perfect for this little space. I could have done something bigger, but at the time that I was buying it, I wasn't sure the size, wasn't sure if that lighting was going to work, so we just kind of winged it and went with this one, and I absolutely love this mirror. It just is so cute. My problem is that my walls, I'm going to say probably the wall height is only about 5 feet, maybe even a little less, so it's just below my shoulders. And it doesn't really give me the height that I need to put a mirror up that when I'm sitting in my chair and putting my makeup on that I could see my face. So what we did was we took some dowels and Scott cut them, and then I hot glued them to the back of the frame so that when the frame is hanging up, I have the dowels in the back, and I don't know if you could see this. Let me just turn the lights on. Okay, remember I said about the remote control? Isn't that great? Okay, so the dowels are right behind the back of the mirror, and then what that does is it just sits up against the wall. I don't have it glued to the wall or anything. It's just sitting up against it, and it angles it just the right way so that I can see what I'm doing in the morning. So, all right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is my actual crafting desk. All right, let's talk about my crafting table. I purchased this to replace my white IKEA desk that I was using before, the one that had the glass top on it. I actually gave that desk to my mom. She recently moved after my dad went into a nursing home. She decided the house was too much and moved into an apartment, and she doesn't have a craft room anymore, but she has the perfect space to put that table. So that desk that I was using before fits in her bedroom perfectly, and she has a nice little craft area in there. If you guys ever want to see some photos of that, I'll take some photos next time I'm at her house and post them on my page, on my blog. Woo, that was a tough one to say. But anyway, my table, like I said, came from, I think I mentioned it in my first video, it came from the Christmas tree store. It's about 36 inches in height, and the actual workspace is about 40 inches. I recently, back in December, Scott and I were doing my December Daily album, and him and I were both working on it together. So it was a lot of fun, not just making the album and doing those memories, but I got to work on it with Scott too. So that was a lot of fun. He was really good at, I just want to say he's really good at coordinating stuff and putting them together. So anyway, it was plenty of space, and I had stuff all over the place on that desk. There was Christmas decoration, December Daily stuff everywhere, and it held, it did great. I mean, there was plenty of room and a lot of space to work on. And like I said, him and I both worked on it together, so this is a great table that if I wanted to turn one of my other chairs around, somebody can come up and craft with me and have fun. But like I said, this table is the Christmas tree store. I think I paid about $300, $299, $199. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was $299. But what I like about this table is that underneath the table it has a little shelf, and that shelf is absolutely perfect. I don't know if you can see, but right there is my Big Shot, and that's where I keep the Big Shot that I use for doing my videos. Otherwise, I just use my Vagabond, my Tim Holtz Vagabond die cutter. But for videos, I like to use that one because I can bring it out and put it right on my desk. So that's what I keep underneath, and then underneath that, you can see the white little notepad. That's my Stampin' Up! Notepad. So let me just go ahead and we'll get a little closer. I'll talk to you about what I keep on my desk on a regular basis. So this is my tool caddy, and here is where I keep all of the tools that I pretty much reach for the most. In the center I have a little dollar store pencil holder that I just use for all of my glues and adhesives. I just stick that there, and I think that something fell down inside. It is a random Distress Inker foam thing. Then I have my rulers up here as well. I have all of my adhesive, more adhesives, another random Distress Inker, tape and stuff like that. I have some of my other punches. I have dots back there. This section right here has just some random tools that I reach for. My Crocodile, my Tim Holtz stapler that I use all the time. I have my corner rounder, Wink Estella in the back with some white gel pens, and then this section is where I keep my scissors right in the front here, along with my Tim Holtz ones. These are my Stampin' Up ones. And then right in here, I have my little chick stand. This is from Angie at My Chicken Scratch. She has these, they're just pieces of foam, and I use it for a place to stick my X-Acto knife and my paper piercer so I don't accidentally stab myself one of these days. In the back here I have my fine line adhesive. I know a lot of people like this. I'm not a big fan. I know there's two versions and something fell down inside of here. My multi-matte medium, which I use all the time. I'm not a big fan of this, and I know there's a different kind, and maybe I just bought the wrong kind, but I'm just, like I'm saying, I'm not a fan. There's little drawers in here. I don't really use this except for just to keep my extra blades for my X-Acto knife, and I don't use the little hooks either that are on here. And that adhesive right there, that was foam. That's foam tape that I was trying to hang one of those little flat tape dispensers. You know, they give out at Christmas time. You peel it, you pull the tape out, and it just pops out. I tried to stick it on there just to have adhesive handy, but every time I pulled the tape, it popped off. So I gave up on that one, and now I can't get the adhesive off. So that's pretty much my tool caddy. I also keep on my desk this little jar, this little glass. Let me just move this out of the way. I'll show you this. This little glass is a pottery piece that I picked up at Lancaster. Scott and Ethan and I went on a family vacation last year to Gettysburg and Lancaster, Pennsylvania to just do a little sightseeing. We wanted to do some Civil War stuff. But this came from Lancaster. There was a place called Kettle's Kitchen, or Kitchen's Kettle. I never get that. I think it's either way. Kitchen's Kettle, Kettle's Kitchen. But anyway, there's a person there that does pottery, so I bought this and another little thing that I have in my kitchen. And then I leave this on my desk, and inside are all of the washi tapes that I keep on hand for the month when I am working on my planners. I don't do a lot of washi taping. I just do a little bit. And then inside here are all random paper clips that I just keep in here that I need to grab them. They're there. So that's what I keep on there, and that just stays on my desk. Then for my work area, all I have on here right now, unless I was crafting, there'd be a ton of stuff on here right now. But it's nice and clean for doing this tour. I just have my paper trimmer. This is the Fiskars paper trimmer that I've had for quite some time. I have my cutting mat. This is an American Crafts cutting mat that I got at Tuesday Mornings a while back. I have two planners. I have this planner right here, which is my home planner. This is where I keep my to-do list and stuff like that, and I'll do a video separately on that one. And then I also have my work planner that is only home on the weekends, otherwise it stays at work. I bring it home during the week so that I can, or during the weekends, so that I can plan what I need to do the next week. And then the last thing I have on my desk here is my 365 Mambi, Me and My Big Ideas planner. This is the newer version, and I have an extender pack in here with the undated stuff so that I can use this as my memory planner. And I'll do a whole video on this, but I also kind of make it into a Project Life thing too. I'll go over that in a separate video. So that's pretty much my workspace. I keep it pretty clean and clear, and I try to clean up. I'm not going to say I clean up every time I use my room, because sometimes I just say I'm going to come back and I'll do it later. But most times I try to clean it up and have it done, and I definitely do a once-over of my room at least once a week. So that is pretty much my workspace. If you guys have any questions about if I didn't cover anything or I missed something, please leave a comment below, and I'll try to make sure I pick it up in my next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the workspace, the look at my workspace and my craft table. So if you missed the first video, again, it's linked below in the YouTube description. And next video, we'll go over my storage. So if you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That's how I know that you enjoy my videos. And then don't forget to subscribe if you're new, because, how else are you going to know when I post new videos? All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all back here soon.